From all my years of talking to new people at car meets and running the Liberty V8's page, overall, I love car people and I'd say they're generally one of the most chill, easygoing groups. I might be partially biased, but who cares? Anyway, even with the huge amount of really great people I've talked to and interacted with, there are a few conversations I've had where pretty quickly I was like,
Oh, no, hang on. I just realised.
What?
I don't want to talk to you anymore.
so today here are the 5 worst types of car guys you'll find out there. Let's get into it. Real quick disclaimers, if you've done any of these things, they don't automatically make you a crappy person. And although this seems like a negative video, it's not at all meant to start an argument, and mostly it's actually to get rid of negative stuff. Also, let me know what videos you guys want, whether it's more car person videos, mods, car lists, or anything else. This is a new type of video for me that was requested a few times, and to everyone who's made requests, I've got them all on a list, and thank you. Getting into it now, the first person is the blatant liar. This comes from a specific time I was at a car meet with my group. There were Lamborghinis, Corvettes, Mustangs, Ferraris, M-cars, you name it. It was a great meet with a ton of cool people. We walked past a silver, stock, dirty 370Z. Don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of 370s, but all I'm saying is it was a fairly plain car. Anyway, the owner, who's some guy in his 50s or early 60s, starts talking to us. Within the first 5 sentences, he goes, "Yeah, these are still $60,000 cars. It's got that Bose speaker sound system." And immediately I was like,
Wow, the land of make-believe.
I knew for a fact it didn't make any sense this car would have been worth 60 grand because at the time I had seen lower end clean R35 GTRs for sale in the mid to high 60s and MSRP on 370s was around 40. Beyond the fact that I knew my friends knew, and I knew my friends knew I knew. So I felt some secondhand embarrassment for the guy, but nobody told him. He also told us he always loved to floor it in that car. Now people leave this meet like they would leave any other meet. Almost everyone revs their car up to make some noise and some really give it the beans. But guess who was one of the very few who left without making any sound at all?
Ironic.
Then, further along in the conversation, this guy starts talking about how one of his closest friends owns the biggest motorcycle collection in the US. Obviously, after I knew he was a liar, when he brought up anything else, I was like, bottom line for this one, don't lie about your car. Especially at a meet, odds are the people you talk to also know something about cars. Hence, you're all at a car meet. And this guy even had a likable car, so there really wasn't any point. Next up is the clout chaser and constant speeder. During freshman year of college, I lived with a kid who used to send multiple videos of him speeding every time he went home. And I don't mean pulls, that's completely different. I mean constantly cruising over 100 on the highway and going as fast as he could and sending us videos because he thought we'd think it was cool. I know all Infiniti drivers aren't like this, but you know that 1 out of every 50 young G35 owners who give him a bad name? Well, that was this kid. And every time he did it, he'd bring it up with us again when he got back as if he wanted us to be like,
Oh my God! Wow! Oh my God!
Needless to say, nobody was impressed. But the whole point is constantly speeding just for the sake of speeding and bragging about it isn't that cool. I love accelerations and the sound and feel of cars, but just seeing what speeds you can stay at and get away with and then trying to brag about it doesn't make you look cool at all. When there's very few cars on the highway and nobody's near you, I can't legally encourage highway pulls because if you ask if I do, I'll say,
The law requires that I answer no.
but I can say, personally, I'm not against them. As long as it's a safe, controllable situation, I don't have a problem with them at all, and honestly, I love to do them. For clout chasing, I've never been a fan of weaving in and out of traffic, and it's always kind of bugged me when I see people hyping it up. It's even worse when someone's against it because obviously it puts people who just want to get home in other cars in much higher danger, and other people come in calling that person a bitch or something. If something puts a lot of other people at a risk much higher than normal driving, it's not worth doing. And in my eyes, seeing how close you can get to crashing into other cars just isn't cool or worth bragging about. There might be people who disagree, but That's just what I think. If you want to do stuff on the highway when nobody else is around so your actions don't jeopardize the safety of others, then that's on you. I like to say, if you want to do something stupid, do it in a smart way. And really, I'll never try to say that I don't love a good highway pull. Weaving on the highway though, or anything like that for just a few minutes of fun is never worth the potentially life-destroying negatives that can and do sometimes come from it. The third person is the overused joke overuser. Here's a hard to swallow pill for a few people. Mustang crashing jokes and Mopar boat jokes aren't funny anymore.
What?
Unless someone comes up with a really creative way to deliver the joke, everyone's heard it a million times. For the Mustang joke, the whole thing was mostly attributed to the live rear axle setup, which stopped in 2015, so that issue should be fixed. Obviously, younger people are still buying S197 Mustangs because they're awesome value, so it is still kind of up in the air. For the Challenger and Charger boat joke, I bet nobody chose either of those cars because they wanted a handling-focused track machine. That to me is like making fun of a bodybuilder for not being able to dance. They don't give a shit that they can't dance. Dodge and their customers know that their focus is on straight line speed and cruising, and their work with it is pretty badass. Trust me, I love some good banter. Some of my friendships are literally built on it. But when I look at a comment section and I see more than 5 comments in a row just saying, "The Mustang didn't crash," it's sad how lazy some humor has become. Jokes should be funny. We gotta spice it up a little bit. The next person is the person who thinks numbers don't matter. It's still a fill in the blank. I got this one from the times on Liberty V8s that I've posted cars with pretty damn high amounts of horsepower, and people still comment, "Fords are slow," or "Chevys are slow," or whatever it is. It's the stuff like this that doesn't really make any sense. And again, I get that it might just be banter, but I can't help but think that the person believes it. Hell, the other day I posted an S550 doing a light highway pull with a Whipple supercharger, and the first line of the caption said it had 680 wheel horsepower. But just because there was a Hyundai going past right before he started his pull, people started being like, haha, that Elantra was keeping up, Mustangs are slow. And I just sat back like,
First of all, you're stupid.
some people said stuff like, that Elantra's gotta have 680 front wheel horsepower, or that Elantra wanted to race too, and that stuff was fine. I thought it was pretty funny even when I first saw it. But for the people who said the Mustang was just as slow as the Elantra, even after responses pointed out it was already up to speed, they turned it into an argument and actually stuck behind the idea that an almost 700 wheel horsepower S550 is slow just because it's a Mustang. If when somebody responded they had said it was a joke, that'd be fine, who cares? But because of how long they dragged it on for, I think they really believed it. There are more things than just power and weight that affect how fast a car is, like gearing, power curves, and wheels, but at the end of the day, a 3,700-pound Mustang with 680 wheel horsepower is gonna be pretty fast. When the owner said something to one guy, he commented back to the owner with, "Did the big bad Camaro owner make you sad?" As a slightly important side note, the Mustang owner was a Purple Heart Marine.
Bullshit.
No petty Instagram comment is gonna make this guy upset. And all this guy had to do was click on his profile to know that. A few responses in, someone else even called it a mustache, which flows pretty terribly but kind of sounds like a Pokemon. The final person for today is the Speed Elitist. I made the Liberty V8's page to share insane sounding and great looking cars. So this one comes from seeing plenty of people be like, well, it's loud, but it isn't fast. Here's the thing. Not everybody cares only about making their car as fast as it can be. For me, even, the tier of what I want in a car is great sound at the top, then great looks, and then probably how quickly it accelerates. But to me, and probably a lot of other people, the experience of making your car sound just the way you want is more important than just having it be fast. Not every single thing you have to do to your car to make it look or sound how you want has to be functional for speed. Think about how boring the car community would be if everybody focused solely on making their car as fast as possible without caring about looks or the sound. People would walk around like,
But my life is good. Really good. I get to lay in a bed by myself all of my life. It's fantastic.
every car would look exactly the same, and way more car guys would probably own electric cars because, like it or not, they accelerate way faster from a stop. But they don't give anywhere near the same experience as something like a loud V8. Even though you might want your car to be as fast as possible no matter how it looks or sounds, someone else might care way more about the sound and feel of it because they just want to enjoy the drive. Like I said, this video is not meant to start any arguments, and if you've done any of these, it doesn't mean you're a shitty person. I'm sure as hell not perfect, and I like all cars, so maybe a few of these problems are just just me? Let me know if you guys like this style of video, if you agree with any of these, and what's the worst thing you've seen or heard from someone in the car world. Also, if there's a video you want to see, drop it below too, and I'll do my best with it. For anyone new to the channel, I upload American car news and content like this every week. If you've got any questions or requests, leave a comment below or send me a DM on Instagram. As always, thank you guys very much for watching. I really appreciate every single one of you. I'll see you all next week. Have a great day.